Today we're going to make these treat box cards. These are the 2 cards that are available in Cricut Community, all ready to cut. There is also a completely blank treat box card that will cost you nothing to cut. It's just shapes until you add your own decorations. The card is 5 by 7. The treat box is 3.5 by 3.5 and 3/4 of an inch deep, so it holds quite a bit. I am Lucine. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and we are going to make these treat boxes using the perforation blade with the Cricut Maker. So let's get started. By the way, my Cricut designs are in the Cricut community under my name, Lucine Smith, but I will put the direct link in the comments underneath the YouTube video. They're also on my blog and my Facebook group. And I'm going to show you what is involved in making these first. And after you've cut your pieces with your Cricut, you should have the card with the score line, which will just fold right in. It makes a 5 by 7 card, which if you don't want to make your own card, a regular store-bought 5 by 7 blank will work fine. I use the 110, so it's a little sturdier, but once you apply your panels, it'll be fine. So either one of those. So you've got your base card, and you can make this, leave this white. I'm going to ink the edges up, or you can use a color like I did with this one. I made a blue card. Okay, or a print. Prints are always cool. Then you will have your black panel. You will have your color panel. Again, I used a print, so that's going to go there. And then you've got your box, which there's no need to waste your print on the box. I mean, of course you can, but as you can see, for the most part, the box isn't really going to show unless somebody's turning it around. All right, so you've got your box. This is the inside panel that covers up the inside part of your box. I guess technically you could skip that, but then you've got your, this will be showing through. It's going to cover that up. You've got a reinforcement for your perforated little part of your box. This is a reinforcement for that. And sorry, this is a reinforcement for that. This is also a reinforcement. This is a reinforcement for your tab. Then you've got your decorative top part of your tab. All right, and then you've got your decorations. I'm going to go ahead and decorate the one for Halloween, but you could do something like I did the elephants here, where I decorated the Just For You box, and I put my elephants up with pop dots. So if you want to do something that's a little bit layered, then you'll want some pop dots. If you're just going to do it flat, you won't need those. All right, I also got some really good Art Glitter brand glue. This dries clear and matte and is strong and fast. It's really great. I've got some red liner tape to put the box, not the whole box together, although you could, and that would probably be better. But this is to put the pop area on, so it's super strong. This stuff is like super strong. All right, and then I've got my bone folder. And you can use just regular tape instead of glue if you want for most of that. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges up. If you do not plan on inking up your edges, then just fast forward. I am going to do my white in purple. So I'm going to a little bit of purple. I use water reactive ink. I use Memento. I use Dewdrop. I use Versamagic. It doesn't really matter. I've got tons of just plain ink bottles too that'll work fine. These are great ways to apply these little applicators, but the brushes work really good too, so it doesn't matter. If you've got a glass mat, your best thing is to start on the edge of the glass and just kind of gently work over the edges like so. Now if you don't want to do this, don't. If you happen to have a white core cardstock that you want to get rid of, this is a great way to use that up, because using the edges up with your ink like this is going to completely cover up that white core, so it's really great. All right. All right, there's the base. I'm going to do the black in gold. And again, I'm going to use my Brilliance gold, and I'm going to use my brush to give it a little sparkle and a little glitter. Alright, there's the black. And I'm going to go ahead and do just a bit on the spider and the Happy Halloween spider web. And I probably put some other colors on the spider, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of gold on it, just so it matches. And the spider web a little bit for the shine. I'm not going to put it on the Happy Halloween because that's going to be covered with cardstock anyway. Alright, so that's it for the gold. Pops it out and makes it look like it was professionally printed. Now let's put it together. I'm just going to glue the black on. Alright, little glue on the, make sure you get your corners and your edges. You don't want floppy corners or floppy edges because that's just completely ruins the whole look. Now if you wanted to use tape, then of course you could just do a couple of tape runners there. And I'm going to center this. Try to get it right the first time because this glue dries really fast. Alright, that looks perfect. And my orange piece, my panel. And of course you can do this in any pattern, any color, anything you want it to do it in. I did a few in solid colors. It doesn't necessarily have to be a pattern, but I really like patterns. It just seems to pop everything for me. Alright, so there is the card, and you can see those extra two panels made this super sturdy to hold the box. It'll hold the box. Alright, let's put the box together. All the score lines are there, and all the score lines go in. So there's no guessing, no hesitating, just fold them in. Now, if you want to use your bone folder to make sure they're in there good and tight, then do that. Which I'm definitely going to use on my tabs. And again, they just fold in. Yay. Alright, now we're going to put glue or red liner tape on the edges. I'm just going to go ahead and use some glue. I'm going to put a fairly generous amount for this glue. It's, like I said, it's really super strong. And then I'm just going to fold that in and close it so that it's nice and even. Hold it for about 2 seconds. Put the other end on. Literally only takes a couple seconds for this glue to dry. Right, and then on the other end, glue on the tab. Fold it in and press it down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's good and strong there. And you can just go ahead and continue to make your box. Alright. Now, I'm going to put my little base piece inside. Now, I'm not going to glue it down or anything. It just has to be inside while I attach this to the base, because that's going to cover up this open hole right here. So now I'm just going to glue my bottom together. So again, just a little glue here, little glue here, and press it down. A little glue here, a little glue here. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here to keep that in place. And I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to put that right on top of that little bit of glue that I just put in. And I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure all that glue is tight. And it's nice and tight. Now this will be glued to the base, so it doesn't have to be glued all the way around. It's not important. I'm going to glue that right now. So I'm going to put glue all over the bottom here. And this is you could use red liner tape if you'd rather. I wouldn't use double-sided tape. It's not going to be strong enough. So glue or red liner tape. Center that. I'm going to put it a little bit closer to the bottom because my Happy Halloween's kind of big. And then use the bone folder to get all in there and push that down to your glue. All right. Now would be a good time to go ahead and fill it. You want to fill it before you finish the top. Otherwise, you can't get to it to fill it. So you need to fill it now. So fill it now. And then we're going to make the perforated piece. Now, this piece has the perforated line here and here with an open cut in the middle. That is for your extra strength pull tab. So I'm going to slide my pull tab in that open cut. It's already perfectly centered for you. And I'm going to push it almost all the way down. Now this stays open. That's going to pull your piece open. Okay, but the back you want to glue down. So I'm going to flip that over, and again you can use red liner tape if you'd rather. I wouldn't use double-sided tape because it's not going to be strong enough. All right, make sure it's even and glue that down. All right. Now you're going to put your reinforcement piece on the back there. That goes on the outside. It's a perfectly even on the outside, and it will not cover up any of your perforated lines. So make sure you're not covering any of those up. If it cut out, it should cut out perfectly, and there wouldn't be any chance of you doing that as long as you got it centered exactly right. Just like that. All right, so that goes there, and that makes it nice and strong. So when you pull it up, your box is still in one piece. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't care either. All right, then you glue your pull tab completely down, tab and all, on top. Center it perfectly. Make sure it's inside the perforated lines. The lines are here. I'm not sure you can see them, but they're there. Oh no! What did I just do? Okay, the little jack-o'-lanterns on this cardstock is shiny, like embossed, so the ink didn't stick to it. So I'm going to use a more permanent ink and write those right back in. That might not have been a great choice. All right. Now, you've got to decorate this first. You don't want to put this on before you do any decorating, because when you push your decorated piece down to glue it in, you're going to punch out the perforation. So you absolutely don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my spider on, and what I'm going to do is make sure that it doesn't go below the fold line here, okay? And it doesn't matter if it goes over the perforated lines as long as you don't glue it down on the perforated lines. So I'm only going to glue, actually, got a little bit of the face still there. I'm only going to glue the center down, trying to decide where I want it to be. I think I'll have him go, well, if I have him go this way, this is shorter, so I'm going to have it go this way so I can get more of the spider on the cover, on the color. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. It's overlapping here. That's fine. You don't want it overlapping down here on the fold line. And if it's overlapping here, just make sure you don't glue it down. So I'm just going to glue the center and a little bit on the legs. And that goes there. And there. All right. So that glues down. That's perfect. Now that's done until you fill your box in and apply it. I can go ahead and decorate the rest though. So I've got my Happy Halloween. It's the wrong piece. Well, I guess that's it. It's got a little tear mark and it's not going to show, so I'm just going to cut that away. Because this is going to go right on top of that. I'm going to actually offset it just a hair so the black shows through. I think that would look, kind of make it look like a shadow, but you can just apply it straight down on top if you want. And I'm going to offset it just a smidgen, like that, so the black shows as a shadow. All right, that's cool. And then I'm going to put the happy, I think I'll put the happy straight down on top. It doesn't need a green shadow. And I'll put the happy right, yeah. Might have been better to have cut the happy off completely. But I don't really care if a little of the green shows. It just gives it a little extra color. This would be a good use too. You could take your ink and ink those green edges up so that they're purple. All right, there's my Happy Halloween. I'm gonna glue that down right there. If you wanted to pop it up, you could, but with it being such small pieces, that would take more time than I want to put into it. Just a little bit of glue here and there. And that's it. Now, fill it up. All right. So we're going to finish this. Now I've got some candy. Let's see what I'll put in. I can put in some kisses. Here's a jawbreaker. Yep. Some bubble gum. Yep. Some lifesavers. And maybe one more kiss. So I could actually probably get a few more things in there. I think that's good. Okay, I'm going to have to stop right here and switch to a different card because somehow or other I accidentally got it on slow motion and it looks really, really strange. So what I'm going to do is check it. Now you can see that that's going to flip and it's just going to pull right up. And now I'm going to use my red liner tape to put this on now because it is super strong. As long as you get it on the outside edges there where you put that little extra panel for strength in, you won't have any trouble because the perforated lines are inside that mark. So I'm just going to cut some red liner tape here. And again, it's not like a shaker card, so it doesn't have to go end to end. It doesn't matter if there's a few little gaps here and there. Just got to kind of trim it and put it in there. So worst part about red liner tape is finding the edge. There we go. Put it on. Okay. And now you're going to be listening to silence while I get the rest of the tape on because having music in the background on craft videos drives me crazy, so I'm not going to do it. And since I really have nothing to say, now once I get all the tape in, I'm going to use my tool to flatten that down. You want to make sure it's burnished really tight to the cardstock. So that is always a good idea to do that. And then I'll use my little pokey tool to pull it up. And that is a technical term, yes. You can actually buy them from Crafter's Companion, and that's what they're called, pokey tools. The one I'm using here is a Cricut pokey tool. And now, red liner tape is super, super strong, so you've got to get it on there right the first time. There are no do-overs with red liner tape. So center it really carefully. Careful, careful. And get it down. And when you push that down, make sure you're only pushing it on the outside. If you push it down on the middle, you're going to push the perforation right down into the card, into the box, and it will be ruined. So there you go. Nifty, huh? Here's the other one that I made earlier today, and you can see that it's already been ripped up, and that actually will stay closed pretty well unless it's totally full. If it's totally full, the stuff is going to push the lid up, but it's still good just for fun and for decoration. All right, there you go. Enjoy. I have a Facebook group. It's Cricut and Crafts with Lucine, which you can come on, and it also has listed all my blogs. I have 6 or 7. The one with most of the craft cards on it is called Lucine's Stuff at blogspot.com. The address is right here written down. You can get to all my other blogs from that one, and all of them are also on the Facebook group in my profile. So see you soon. Thanks. Bye.